Hello. So this is an excellent question, and I'm gonna do my best to answer this. It's the answer is this long, but I'm gonna try to answer it here. The first thing you have to do is recognize that the switch occurred. Part of the issue is that many people don't know that their energy has been switched with someone else, and therefore they don't do anything about it. They don't they think, oh, life is just happening because this is what's supposed to happen. So that's the first thing. You have to first go back to how your life was prior to meeting that individual and write down in great details what has changed. For instance, if before you met a person you were financially successful and they were struggling, after you left that relationship, now you're struggling and they're financially successful, that's one thing. But it gets further than that. You also have to look at the thinking, your thought process, because that is something that happens a lot. So you meet a person, and for instance, I met this person. I'm a person who used to fast 4 times a year religiously. I met a person who told me they never fast, they could not fast, da da da. At the conclusion of that relationship, they were fasting more than I was fasting. You see the switch that occurred there. So, of course, then you have to go back and say, okay, this is something that I was doing that was in my life prior to meeting this person, that was a core portion of my life that led to what I consider my success. And now that person is doing it and they're actually having a success. So you have to get granular, and many people don't get granular. And then once you narrow down, and sometimes it's more than one thing, then you go and you start putting the practices back into place if it were practices. In between that time, you also have to do what I consider to be rituals, which rituals, fasting is a ritual, right? So let's be clear. So you have to do a cleansing to actually release that person from your life. And a lot of times people think you need to talk to them. No, that's the last thing you need to do. But you do need to write it out. You do need to have a come to Jesus moment where you say, these are all the things and all of the ways that this person was in my life and how my life has shifted. And I no longer want to be associated with that. But not just I am no longer associated with those energies, those low vibrations. I do not allow them to have access to my energy and to my success. For me, that includes prayer and scripture. No arguments with people over that. That's for me in my life. Your life might be different. Everybody's life is a little different. Whatever it is that you do as part of fasting, you have to release it and let it go. And I always close out my rituals with burning it up. Even therapists tell you to release it through with butterflies, or burn it as a way of releasing it, or tearing it up and throwing it away. Something. You don't keep the letter. That's another way of holding on to the energy. Another little secret thing is go through your house, your possessions, and see if you have anything that belongs to that person, and get rid of everything that's associated with them, so that you don't look at something and then you remember and you're triggered, and then they're still holding on to your energy. Because while you're thinking about them, there's still an energy tie, right? Biggest thing is don't dibble and dabble. A lot of people, after they break up in these relationships, they go back and we're just going to get together a little bit, and that they just keep sucking off of you one time after the next. Just suck, 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 suck. Now, I'm speaking romantically. This does not only occur romantically, it also occurs mainly in families. I've seen it in families a lot. Um, just think of this as the birthright switch kind of thing, where people are like, one person is doing well, then all of a sudden some person switches energy with them of sorts. Okay, so that is the way you start. And then you have to be very intentional about what it is that you're trying to do, what it is you're reclaiming. So if you're reclaiming, like for instance, fasting, you have to reclaim it. You got to be like, no, I'm going to do what I've always done, what's been part of me, what has worked for me, and you have to stick to that. And then every time you reclaim something, you reduce the power and the energy that they have over you. My last thing is, don't call them to check in to see if their life has changed and if they If the energy is reversed, you will feel the energy reversal in your life. That's how you know that there's no longer really sucking off of you. Sometimes, out of the blue, they'll even contact you to try to get back in association with you so they can get some more of your energy. Do not respond. No nice pleasantries, anything. Block, delete. Block, delete. Okay? That's for a person who's been sucking off your energy. All right. I hope this helps.